Today we are making puff puff, one of the most loved street snacks across many African countries. Soft, airy, golden and slightly sweet. But funny enough, puff puff used to frustrate me so much. Mine would either turn out too hard, too dense or sometimes soggy inside. And this was even after following recipes step by step. At some point, I stopped obsessing over measurement and started trying to understand what actually makes puff puff soft, airy, and light. And ever since then, making puff puff has become so much easier for me. So in today's video, I'm not just showing you how I make mine, I'll also be sharing those little tips that truly helped me finally get soft and fluffy puff puff consistently. Hi everyone, you're welcome to my kitchen, and today let's make some puff puff. Now, let's start with something very important: measuring flour correctly. One mistake that can completely ruin your puff puff texture is using too much flour. Instead of scooping directly from the bag with your measuring cup, spoon the flour gently into your measuring cup and level it off. Too much flour will make your puff puff dense and hard after cooling. So after measuring, combine the flour, sugar and some salt. Whisk that all together and then set it aside. So the next thing to do is to activate your yeast. Add your yeast into warm water around 38 to 40 degrees Celsius. That is if you're using a thermometer. It shouldn't be hot. It should just be warm. If the water is too hot, it keeps the yeast too cold and the yeast won't activate properly. So add a little sugar, then stir and leave it for about 5 to 10 minutes. And this part is important. You want to see foam and bubbles on top. That foam tells you your yeast is alive and active. If you don't see foam, you probably should stop and use another yeast because your batter most likely won't rise properly. Then pour in your activated yeast mixture and gradually add the rest of your warm water. Now here's another secret. Puff puff batter should not be stiff. You want a soft, stretchy, sticky batter, not watery, but definitely not dough-like either, like bread dough. If your batter is too thick, your puff puff may turn out heavy and hard. So cover the bowl and leave it in a warm place for about 1 to 1.5 hours. You shouldn't rush this step. In the meantime, you can do other stuff around your house. The rice is what creates that airy texture inside. Your butter should look bubbly, puffy, and almost doubled in size. This is how your butter should be looking like after rising. Look at how stretchy it is, those beautiful air bubbles. So you should be aiming for this texture. This part changed everything for me. Oil temperature matters more than people think. Your oil should be around 175 to 180 degrees Celsius. If the oil is too hot, the outside browns too quickly while the inside stays undercooked. If the oil is too cold, the puff-puff absorbs oil and becomes greasy. So yes, using a thermometer really helps, but if you don't have a thermometer, then you can just scoop a little bit of that puff puff batter and drop it into your oil. If it rises to the top after a few seconds, then it is hot enough to fry. But if it stays underneath for too long, then the oil is not hot enough to handle the batter. So now scoop your batter gently into the oil. Don't overcrowd the pan. Give them enough space to puff and cook evenly. Turn occasionally and fry until golden brown. Once they are nice and golden, then take them out and drain on a paper towel. Now repeat the process of frying until your batter is finished. Now to scoop your puff into the oil, I'm thinking that is up to you. You have to practice. Indeed, they say practice do make things perfect, because at this point I was shocked that my puff puff were actually this round. And just look at that crispy outside, soft and airy inside. This is the texture I had been trying to achieve for so long. Here are the biggest lessons I learned. Measure flour correctly. Always proof your yeast first. Use warm, not hot water. Don't make the batter too thick. Let the batter rise fully, then control your oil temperature. Once you understand these basics, you can honestly start experimenting and making puff puff your own way. And that's the beautiful thing about learning. Once you truly understand something, it starts feeling like a superpower. Now I can confidently experiment with puff puff because I finally understand the foundation behind it. I really hope this tutorial helps someone who has struggled the same way I did. And if you're new to Cameroonian cuisine, then this is something you should definitely try. In Cameroon, we pair puff puff with beans. I made beans the other day. It's on the channel if you want to check it out. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, comment, and also subscribe, and let me know what pop-off twist I should try next. Bye.